Welcome back, friends, to our Noxoma Life Camp 2.0 Global Healing Project. What have we got for you today? Just a reminder that life does not move in a single direction all the time. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because we have been monitoring geopolitics, and we have this idea, as mentioned before, and we've even done a spot about it, that in the next decade, the powers that be, the US, Iran, China, and Russia, are all going to be cooperating for a more peaceful planet. Now, I mentioned this throughout both of these channels because this is what seems to be happening. It's the idea of give peace a chance. You know what I mean? Because after a century or maybe even a millennium of war, hey, it's just crazy enough to work. You know what I mean? We don't know what any of these leaders are actually doing, let alone thinking. But we can monitor DJT a little bit easier than we can monitor Xi or Putin. And we don't really have a lot of time to dive deep into it or analyze it because we want to talk about our perceptual shift that happened that kind of put us where we are today. Nonetheless, recent reports suggest that the administration is zigzagging into the direction that we see as coming. We can't say that it's inevitable, and we're not even that confident that we are correct. So we'll keep watching and not freaking out, monitoring what's going on, and see what happens. We're going to talk about it more in this series than the Full Metal Ox series. So let's get into it. Thanks as always for watching, subscribing, doing the good deeds. You know we appreciate you guys. We'll be right back after this.
Our mission is to provide compelling, provocative, healing, life-enhancing content to a global, English-speaking audience. Noxoma Life Camp 2.0 is a global healing initiative, 7-year plan that aims to encourage, guide, and instruct individuals to elevate their vibrations, align their frequency with universe, and reconnect with source. Also, to benefit on this material plane, reality through improved health and wellness, happiness, humility, and abundance. As we reach our funding goals, we will be able to advance to the next phase of our calling. Thank you for supporting our effort.
The time is right to share this story with you, my friends, and it is the story of the first, maybe the first, perhaps the most profound shift in our consciousness of the 20th century. That's right, the last century is when this happened, in the 1900s. If I were writing fiction, I would put this in a 7-year, but I'm not sure that it was a 7-year. I wrote this piece about the checkout line and how no matter what line I get into in the supermarket, it's the wrong line. So I did this whole thing about getting in this line, and there's a pretty girl at the cash register. They still had cash registers back then. So Don Juan is in line, flirting with the girl, blah, 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 blah. Holds up the line. I'm in a hurry. I'm getting heated. And Now, looking back, I can't even remember why I was in a hurry. You don't go shopping for food when you're in a hurry. You know, that's one of those things you go and you take some time and you know it's going to be a while at the checkout. This, of course, is before self-checkout. You can still get in a line with people these days too. Moving right along, get to the person right in front of me, man. She's only got like 5 items. The item is scanned and the lady goes, "No, honey, that's the wrong price. It's a nickel off." This lady's going to stand there and argue about a nickel. Price check, register 10, blah, 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 blah. This is me writing this sketch. This is me being negative about any line. This is me being negative about everything in my life at that time. The more negative my attitude was, the longer I would have to wait in line. Because I was right. I was building it up. Did I tell you the story about the priest who hated Brussels sprouts? So whenever he went over to somebody's house for dinner and they served Brussels sprouts, he ate them first to get them out of the way because he didn't like them. Well, the word got around that he liked Brussels sprouts, so every time he was invited over for dinner, the lady of the house, the cook, prepared Brussels sprouts. This is exactly what I was doing with the universe. Any line I get into is going to be the wrong line. Whether it's the short line, whether it's the long line, doesn't matter who's at the register, something is going to happen to slow me down. Universe is like, well, if that's what you want, that's what you get. So I'm like, well, let me make this experiment. Any line I go to is the right line. I started getting into the longest lines in the supermarket. I'm telling myself, doesn't matter what line I get in, it's going to be the right line, right? With that attitude, I would go in long lines and it would go right through. Very smooth, no hassles, no hang-ups, no price checks, nothing. I'd get in other lines, I'd have a nice conversation with somebody, whatever the case may be. It was never the wrong line, and I was never in a hurry. Like I say, you don't go food shopping if you're in a hurry, like on your way to work or something like that. I started projecting this out with everything. Sure enough, it worked. Again and again and again and again. And when it didn't seem to work, it worked. So when you project it out there, what is it? Positivity. When you project positivity out there, then it reflects back to you. And the more you've got this breath, this female, male vibration, the less you worry. The less you worry, the more things go your way. This is the flow that is the flow. This is how we become the flow. And when we're in the flow, nothing can touch us. And how does the flow flow? It flows strong, it flows stronger, it flows strongest. Flow can be applied to anything. The smallest detail or the hugest thing that you can think of. If it can apply to everything, then why not apply it to everything? We, the Trinity, apply it to life. So life is a constant flow. We've been witnessing the manifestations of that flow for the last many years. I could go back to the birth of my first child. I wanted a daughter, and I knew the relationship that I would have with that first daughter even before she was born. Then, number one son. I knew the relationship I would have with number one son even before he was born. Yet, he still surprised me. So if you're a little shook up now and then about whatever it is, focus on the flow. Focus on emitting positive vibes. Think of it as, I used to play racquetball, right? You whack that ball out there, it hits the wall, and it comes back to you. It's a little bit slower, but flow is different. Flow is equal. You throw that ball out there against the wall, that ball is going to come back to you as fast as you threw it out there. And like I tell you all the time, you don't even have to take my word for it, man. All you got to do is try it. But don't try it just like one day and be like, ah, this doesn't work. Forget about it. This guy's full of it. The always in the wrong line story is just what I remember. That, to me, was the turning point, the shift, the catalyst. However, we were probably easing into it unknowingly way before that. In fact, back to the story, we were manifesting being in the wrong line before we knew what we were doing. It wasn't a line, it was us. So we will wrap this up, my friends. We'll put it in a bottle and put a top secret label on it. The secret science, the forbidden knowledge. I'll tell you a secret. Everyone out here now, everyone in the world, whether they are at the so-called top of the material pyramid or down at the bottom, underground, in the dumps, in the gutter, they are manifesting their reality. That's just a belief. And I'm thinking of everybody that I'm aware of in any situation that I've heard about in this material realm. So that's it, my friends. Thanks for watching and subscribing. You know we appreciate you. Do the good deeds, tell a friend, pass it on, and we will see you very, very soon. Be well, don't freak. Peace out. We are running with the idea that US, China, and Russia will be allies in the next decade. And that's what we're running up to now. So if you notice, you may start seeing a lot of Russian history popping up in your video feeds, your social media channels and stuff like that. And it's all part of educating Americans about Russian history, because this is going to happen. Still my opinion, but I'm talking about it like it's already a done deal. So another one of those crazy predictions from this channel, and when it comes to pass, you can say you heard it here first.
This program is made possible by viewers like you. No sponsors, no affiliates, no grants, no foundations. Just your subscriptions and contributions. Thank you.